Hello, bike people. This is Matt with my friend and bike people designer Parker McCullough. We're here with a kind of unique episode of Bike People of Indy this week, where we're going to turn the tables and Parker's going to interview me. I'm quite terrified at this prospect, not being the one in control, but hey, it's okay. I hope you enjoy, and I'm going to hand it over to Parker. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, bike people of Indy and beyond. My name is Parker McCullough. I'm here because I've gotten to work with Matt on a lot of stuff for bike people, most notably the brand and visual identity, where I've kind of gotten to learn more about Matt's story, what inspired the shop, and kind of got me really excited and bought into what Matt's trying to do, which is why I'm here, because I want to help Matt tell the story, because I think it's really inspiring, compelling, and that everyone should know about it. So with that, I'm going to start this interview of Matt's. First question, more around your origin story. What inspired you to open a bike shop?
Sure. I feel like for a lot of like hardcore bicyclists, it becomes a dream at some point to open a bike shop, just like a romantic notion, but that was always the case. But then during COVID time, I opened up a Facebook group just for my neighbors in my neighborhood, a cottage home, and it was called the Cottage Home COVID bartering group or something. And I was just trying to, in the uncertain times of COVID, where toilet paper and more resources were getting bought off the shelves, I was trying to think ahead, like, what if this continues on? What if gas becomes scarce? Like, we don't have enough bike repair shops downtown, and what if like we become a bicycling city just out of necessity? So I just wanted to preemptively like offer that service, seeing that there was long wait times at the local bike shops for bike repair. So I opened up as an offer just to trade neighbors my bike repair service or my pizza doughs I was making at the time in trade for whatever they might do. Like I remember I did trade a lot of service and got like nice flower bouquets, cool plants, ceramic mugs, just cool stuff that neighbors were doing anyways that they were trading for stuff. So it quickly though got out of hand, and my small repair shop in my garage was overwhelmed with bikes and kind of a back order of repair to do, and just with the lack of space, it was kind of just chaos. And I realized I could use a real shop. Maybe I could make this happen if this continues on.
Make it something real.
Yeah. So I did at that point just kind of curiously looking at what the rent rates were for a brick and mortar, and it was quickly like demoralized in that process because like there's nothing under 3,000 downtown proper. And I come into this knowing that bike shops open and close, so I'm doing this carefully without trying to accrue too much debt. Mm-hmm. And that's where we are now. We're at the Factory Arts South. This opportunity came along probably like a year after I'd kind of given up the real estate search, and we're just doing my normal property management work and handyman stuff. So the Factory Arts, through some connections I had, approached me interested in seeing if I was wanting to open a bike shop. And I came and saw the space, and quickly just the wheels started turning in my mind, like, how can we make this happen? And as soon as I saw the space here, I kind of knew it was on. Mm-hmm. And
it's a beautiful space.
Yeah, and as we see it built out and see like some of the old character that they're honoring in here with the old windows and the old restored doors and everything, it's really exciting just to kind of imagine how this is gonna be when it finally opens, the whole building here.
I'm really excited for it to open too. It's happening soon. Right. So my next question is, we have a fair amount of bike shops in town. How is Bike People going to be different than what's existing options out there?
Yeah, and the bike shops in town, I'm a fan of them. And I'd be the first one to tell you I bought bikes from just about every bike shop that's opened and closed in Indy that I can think of. That's how I learned a lot of what I know about biking in Indy, and a lot of what I know about bike maintenance is from our local shop. So I really want to shout out to them. But where I see a real need in town, and this stems all the way back from my experience helping lead party rides, over 10 years ago. There was always this energy I felt in the cycling scene where kind of Wayne's World, if you book them, they will come.
Yeah.
That notion, like, make something happen and you'll have a turnout. And that's what we saw when we started Bike Party in 2016.
Bike party?
Yeah, Bike Party. The energy with that to this day is just off the hook, man. Like, you go to Bike Party this month and just talk to a few people, and you'll meet a few people that are on their first Bike Party ride. And you can kind of just relive the excitement of discovering the fun of that yourself just by, attending and talking to other people. So what I'm trying to say is just the energy with the indie cycling scene, with the rides that do happen, just with the general public, like welcoming type of rides. Like, we just need more cycling amenities, infrastructure, cycling emphasis is indie. And specifically, I want this shop to be a hangout. And I know of a shop in the past in Indy that tried to do a hangout type of community bike shop, and it was short-lived for one reason or another. But I feel like now the time is right, and if I can dial this in and get it right, just built a wooden bench, calling it the community bench right now. Finished it up yesterday. I want to have a seating area with some bistro tables where people can just come in here knowing like they don't have to buy anything. That's what's going to set me apart from a normal bike shop. Usually you go in there, it's transactional because you need something. But like I said, I think the interest in the indie cycling scene is enough for people to want to have a hangout where they can, run into other like-minded people. I'm a big fan of Mass Boulder, and I just feel an energy there that I'm kind of trying to harness the similar thing here, where there's just a wanting for community and fun.
Yeah.
I'm all about the fun. So.
Oh yeah. What are some long-term goals you have for the shop, and how do those support the long-term goals for the indie cycling community overall?
Yeah, so I'm not thinking long-term right now, honestly. I'm thinking like very short-term, like let's get this open, let's see what happens. Like if I can just make a warm, inviting, welcoming space, it'll kind of become what it will. So my goal, if I had my way, which I think your friend Stafford put it eloquently. He said, you're going to be more of a facilitator than like an owner operator. And I'm going into this knowing that like the customers will ultimately dictate what bikes are sold here. I can stock it full of my favorites all day, which would be probably too expensive for most people. But yeah, like maybe people want Surly bikes or Rivendales like I like to do. But if they want, mostly $400 entry-level bikes, then that's probably what we'll carry. But I'm going to feel it out and see what people are asking for. Of course, I'd like to push my preferences, but I'm going into it open-minded, knowing that all the plans I have for bike people could change over time just because it's going to be a community shop and going to listen. I'm going to listen to what the community wants. So
That leads perfectly into my next question to get specific about what's going to be in the shop. What are you planning to offer? Talked about a variety of bikes, but outside of bikes, what do you plan to actually offer in the space?
Yeah, full honesty, I'm brand new to being a retailer. I come from a health science background, so I'm very aware that I kind of flying blind here in a lot of respects. So honestly, I'm not very focused on the products I'm going to sell. Of course, I have a lot of ideas. I think a lot about it, but first and foremost, I am a bicycle repair shop. So that's what I'm focused on right now. The first, inventory product order I just put in is my bike tools. That's my priority right now is if somebody comes in and they need to keep their bike rolling or get it rolling again, get them set up, and out the door rolling and feeling like they were helped and they want to come back and are looking forward to visiting. But on the product side, in my mind, I would love to be like the curated, handmade type of bike shop where unlike other bike shops you go in, you might see more things that are just straight off small business Instagram pages versus, your typical big bike brands. And you might find that things are at a higher price point here, but it's the stuff that you normally don't even get to see or touch in a normal store. So I have already reached out to a lot of small makers across the country, and I'm trying to really lean into that, these small businesses that are up and coming, because, even a lot of my favorite like bike bag brands or something like that, you now see them at REI. So
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in competing with REI. Like, go there for that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and come to Bike People, hopefully as a destination type of shop too, as well as your everyday shop. Total line this kind of curated, handmade, artisan level type products.
That's awesome. I've heard you talk about empowering cyclists through education. So outside of offering bikes, repair, and bike accessories, like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so Bike People, the whole idea was to be a community bike shop. And to me, what that means is you are really empowering people to become more experienced, more confident, stronger cyclists. So what I found through my years of becoming, a bigger and bigger cyclist, just more and more miles over the years, was that as my bike would break and things would happen, I couldn't often get the quality of bike repair that I personally was looking for. So that's when I began learning my own bike repair and bike maintenance. And I found that very empowering, because as soon as you know that you can confidently change a flat tire, for example, you're not thinking or you're not anxious about, should I really ride this far away? Because then it would be how much of an Uber back if something goes wrong or something. So just having the confidence to carry your tools, fix your bike out in the middle of the woods if you're out like mountain biking and don't have GPS or something like that, like, it just opens up your world of cycling in a way that you probably never even thought possible just by knowing some simple bike. Yeah. So just getting the greater community around here confident in fixing flats, for example, to me would be like really life-changing. A lot of people, so that was my experience. So I really feel a responsibility to offer classes, and I'm really considering a rental, like by the hour, by the half hour stand with a nice set of tools. I'm actually beyond considering this is happening at this point. The tools just shipped in today. So yeah, I'm really looking into how that grows and what it morphs into. I actually really went into the idea of Bike People looking into the nonprofit side, and a lot of these educational things, community outreach things. I would love to do like a kids bike drive throughout the winter months. To me, that would be like dream come true to be able to offer bikes to kids. So I realize a lot of these things fall into more of a nonprofit realm. So I'm trying to educate myself now on how Bike People could be a stronger organization if we did have a foundation or something where all the community outreach stuff fell into that. But I just personally don't have the background in nonprofit grant writing and all that kind of stuff involved to do that. But I'm really excited to see where the community aspect of the shop goes.
Yeah, I know the community side is a huge part of it. So 2 more questions for you.
Sure.
First, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to get either into cycling for the first time or more level up their involvement in cycling or in the cycling community here in Indy?
Yeah, my first thought is like find some friends who are into it, because most of what I learned, especially just like where to ride around town, it was on like small group rides with buddies I made. And opposite of that is like ride by yourself a lot, and just ride with the willingness to get lost, because once you really get to riding around Indy, you kind of discover the magic of, if you haven't really ridden a lot of miles in your life and you're kind of new to biking, like once you really discover your place via bike, it's so much better and more exciting when you have shortcuts, just ways to get places, and even changes your driving habits and unlocks new routes.
Yeah.
So I just really think getting out there first and being willing to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, especially like riding on streets, riding in traffic. Riding on a street takes a lot of optimism and humanity that the guy behind you will stop, that he's not looking at his phone. So it's a lot of you know, risk taking to an extent, like if you want to ride on streets and that kind of thing. But man, I really think the benefit is there and the risks are outweighed by the benefits. And if you're new to cycling, you just have to get out there and do it. And maybe there's no way you'll ride on a road. So become aware of all your local trail systems. I'm talking to people in other cities nearby, and they know our trail systems and they're envious of our connectivity. So yeah, we've got a great place to ride. It's awfully flat. You have to go find peak out elevation if you want to ride it. So yeah, just get out there and, like I said earlier, learn some bike maintenance, and it'll cure a lot of your anxieties.
Awesome. So to wrap up, what's coming up for Bike People, and how can people connect with the shop?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we're planning to open January 4th for our grand opening. That's coincidentally my 40th birthday. I just kind of arbitrarily had to pick a date, given the vendors I'm using to sell parks and everything. I just had to like pick out a date. So January 4th seemed like a day. I thought and hoped we'd be a little further along with the construction of the building, but you know, it's a big undertaking to renovate an old car factory like this. So the more conversations I have with friends and community, everybody's saying, yeah, just take it easy, you know, open the 4th. Nobody's expecting, you know, everything to be perfect. So I'm just reminding myself that, knowing it's kind of a DIY effort.
Yeah. Sounds like it aligns with the Bike People kind of brand anyways, letting you into the kitchen, like we're all in this together. It's not you on one side, everyone else on the other side. We're all in it together.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like I said, I'm trying to be a facilitator here and just kind of see where this thing goes. Like, I'm energized by everybody else's excitement about this place. Like, it's hard for me to get on social media, do this stuff, and do selfie videos and stuff. That's really not me, but the energy I get from everybody else really is keeping me going and keeping me inspired. And I just really can't wait for people to get in here and enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, for sure. I guess that's all.
That's it.
Right on.
Bike People out.
Yes, Bike People. We'll see you soon, January 4th.
Woo!
Thanks, man.